Thank you for showing up. This was kind of a last minute thing, and we're so grateful to bring it here to Europe because the battlefield that you just saw is here right now, isn't it? It's right here on this island. Not only does this story clearly illustrate where the breakdown was, here, because the EU failed, because the Dutch officials failed to care about children. These monsters were able to spread their poison through the entire world. And if we hadn't stopped them, they would be everywhere else. They were going to grow everywhere. And that network still exists. And you're dealing with this here. That's why we came here. I'm very worried, as you are, about what's happening to the West. It doesn't matter who the monsters are. It's all Satanism. They wear different uniforms. They have different flags. Whether it's the pedo flag or another flag that you see marching around the streets of London, it's all the same. They are preying on our children. And we can no longer, as you see here, we can no longer think that each country is going to just take care of their own problem. We have to work together. They use borders, as you see. They cross borders to hide their crimes. And we came here because this is where the battlefield is right now. The battlefield is here on this island, on these islands. This is where it's come to. This great battle. You understand, like I said in the film, it is spiritual. And I can sum up the spiritual war just like this, very simply. Satan and his demons are real. I see them. You saw their eyes? Those human eyes? Those aren't human eyes. I'm with them. I'm talking to them. They're not humans. They become subhumans. And they're everywhere. Why are they everywhere? And why are children being preyed upon? You just saw the Rupert Lowe report. I happened to be in the Netherlands when that dropped a few weeks ago, and I took the train over. I met with Danny Thomas, with Sammy Woodhouse, and some other people. And that's how we ended up here today. Because it's going on. It's right here. It's the spiritual war because these Satanists, these demon-possessed human beings, are following the orders of their dark master, and he wants to sit in the throne of God. And he cannot. He wants to punch God. And he cannot. And so what's he going to do? He's going to attack the thing that most resembles God, that is most in the image of God. Because that's the demonic way to attack God, is hit the thing most in the image of God. That is children. Only then can you understand how big this problem is. Only then can you understand why so many people want to attack children. And you're on the battlefield's here. It's right here, right now. And are people going to stand up and rise up? I am so tired of the excuses that people make, that politicians make, that even religious leaders make about why they can't help the 250,000 British kids who over 2 decades were hit by this monstrosity. Because they fear man. That's it. They don't fear God. They fear man. They want the votes, and they want their power, and they have the blood of children on their hands. And who's going to rise up and stop fearing man?
Have you met Tommy?
I'm in the process. I got Danny Thomas here, Sammy. Tommy would be here, but he's out of the country. But we're coming together. We're coming together. But I want to explain something to you. This is very important to understand history, because if we don't understand history, we are doomed to repeat history. What is the history? I can start anywhere, but I'll start in 636 AD, when this evil ideology crept into the world. It's based in ancient texts. that say it's okay to kill and rape Christian and Jewish and non-believing infidel babies. That's what it says. Stop lying about what it says. I've read the book 100 times. That's what it says. And I understand that there's peaceful Muslims, and I want to protect them. Tim, they tell me 1.6 billion Muslims. Come on, this is not, okay, that's fine. Only 3% are radical. Fine, I'll take your numbers at face value. 3% of 1.6 billion is 50 million people that believe that God is telling them to rape Christian and Jewish and non-believing babies. Do you know that? That's larger than most European nations. Do you know that? And that's not a threat? 50 million people, at least? And what happens to the peaceful ones when the caliphate is formed? What happens if Sharia law takes a full foothold as it's happening right here on this, what I call sacred land? What happens to the peaceful ones? You think they're going to do anything? They have no choice. Even if they want to stop helping us, they're not going to be able to. They will be killed if they leave the religion. They'll be killed if they speak out. So once the flip is switched, it's over. They're already here. Sharia is everywhere, and they're not going to defend us, the peaceful ones. They're going to do what the caliphate says, right?
Islam is paying all of them.
That's right. And so what happened, let's go back to 636 AD. This is very important. The Christian armies, the Byzantine armies, lost that battle on the border of Jordan and Syria. They lost the battle. And then all the Christian lands started falling. Christian Egypt, it was all Christian, fell. Christian, the Mediterranean, Jerusalem, Christian, fell. Christian North Africa, fell. Christian Spain, fell. All the eastern lands up in Eurasia, up to what's now called Turkey, fell. 66% of the known Christian world in the 7th century disappeared in 10 years. Disappeared. 66%. That all those countries in the Levant would have been Christian nations today. It would have been the West. Do you know that? The only West that still exists is Israel. That's the only thing you can call the West anymore. And we have the conservatives knocking them down. The only ones that are still there. Now, there's Christians, I'm helping them. We've been working in the Middle East. The Christians that remain in that, what was 66% of the Christian world, they're still there, and they're still getting butchered. We've been up in Syria. We've been in Israel. I was kidnapped by ISIS in October with Matt Cooper. Where's Matt Cooper? Maddie, where are you? He's the big guy with the hat, TBF hat.
Over there?
No. We're taken by ISIS, but we know we learn not to fear man anymore. And Jesus gets us out. He got us out. This is still going on. Now here's the big lesson that we need to learn right now. Why did all those Christian lands fall? Because those people acted like, thus far, the West and Europe and even in this great country have acted. They got scared. They didn't. They just toppled. They were scared of the sword. They were scared. In this case, they're scared of being called a racist. This is not a racist thing. There's nothing race about this. The people that subscribe to this horrific ideology are all racist. It's not. You're allowed. Guess what? You're allowed to fight against evil ideas. You know that? It's not a race thing. You're allowed to fight against evil ideas. In fact, you are under covenant to fight against evil ideas. Amen. And God is watching. Amen. So what are we doing? What are we scared of? You don't think God loves his children? You don't think he's going to... Look what he did for us here. This is one little example. You don't think he'll do that for you? If you have the cojones to actually do something about it, he's not going to protect you. You know, you watch House of David, read 1 and 2 Samuel, read the story of David, and he says, what is wrong with you guys? He's this scrawny little kid. He's like, what? He's like, aren't you scared? He's like, well, I'm scared, but he's not going to do anything for us unless we put our foot on the battlefield. He's like, you watch what's going to happen. Once I put my foot on the battlefield and face Goliath, you watch what happens. And it happened. He's not going to help you if you sit back and are just afraid of man. And you're so scared of what? What, you might lose everything? So what? Eternity is a lot longer than this little tiny earth life. Eternity, I heard, is a long time. I haven't entered it yet, but I've heard it's pretty long. Sisters, it's pretty long? It's a pretty long time. So think about that. And who cares about this life? That's what Jesus said. If you lose your life, and that's when you find your life. Who cares if they throw you in jail? Who cares if they pull your arms off? You'll go down fighting. 66% of the known Christian world in the 7th century, all through the Middle Ages, was lost because people feared whatever they think this life is. They feared it. And we lost almost everything. Had the pilgrims they were born in this beautiful land, had not gone to America, had Columbus not gone to South America, Christianity could have died. It could have died. I think God set apart those lands, like Ronald Reagan said, he set apart those lands so that we could proliferate Christianity because it was going to die here. Now I love this nation. I love this nation. I love Great Britain. I love everything that I enjoy in life was born here. The Magna Carta, the people like Oliver Cromwell and the Crusaders, Richard the Lionheart. I mean, the Crusaders were born out of here. There was an effort made to get those lands back, and there was some success in 1099. We got Jerusalem back, right? Stop ripping on the Crusaders, the false history. You know, in the United States, any high school is called the Crusaders. They took their names down. Why? This was after hundreds of years. The Christians finally said enough is enough. They're killing everybody, and they went in and they got some of the lands back. It was defense. It was defense of truth. It was defense of our families, of our children. That's what the Crusaders were, and they were born here. Where are they today? There's a couple here. This guy's one, I know that. Guys, you've got to rise back up. Learn from history, or we are doomed to repeat it. And we're repeating it right now. You could lose everything. Everything you hold dear. Everything. It's coming to America, too. It's already there. You've got to rise up, guys. He can win. You know, if you read the end time prophecies, we're in it, by the way. Go read Isaiah. Go read the end time prophecies. We're in it. Only 1% in the end actually steps forward. Only 1%. But once they step forward, this happens. He wins. You win. The 1% is going to win. So you know the end. But you know who wins. The only question is, where will you be? That's the only question. Where will you be when the dust settles and Jesus wins and that 1% has stepped forward and they win? Are you in that 1% or not? That's the only question that matters. Because we already know how the game is. I plead with you to rise up. Be part of the 1% and just have faith and know you're going to win. We're going to win. Amen. Eternity, the sister here says eternity is a long time. I don't know yet. I haven't entered it, but she said, I heard it's pretty long. That's all you need to think about. Don't worry about anything else. Stand up. He will come in. You just watched him do it. This was a small, tiny example of what he's about to do. I promise you that. It's just a tiny example of what he's about to do. So be on the side of righteousness. Be on the side of Jesus.
Amen.
Because these are his lands. This is a covenant land. You know Britain means? And it has Hebrew roots. It means covenant land. Britain means covenant land. Because it was built on a covenant. The Pilgrims brought that covenant to America and built a covenant land. We can tap into that covenant. Isaiah 55. Go read it. That's the covenant. Make the covenant. If you've made it, make it again. It's now getting geopolitical. In a very real way, it's getting geopolitical. The prophecies tell you that. And wars are coming. We're not done. The wars are coming. This hidden war is not about to be hidden for much longer. It's going to get loud. It's going to get nuts. The dark's going to get darker. The light's going to get lighter. So get on the side of light. Stop being afraid of man. Be afraid of God only, and he will bless you. That is my testimony. I know it's true. All hail King Jesus. Let's go,
Amen.
guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.